The Malaysian Institute of Economic Research, MIER, today presented a report stating that the country may see a U-shaped recovery out of the current crisis that was caused by the global environment. The think tank says Malaysia's economy may shrink 4.2% more than the previously forecasted of 2.2% this year, as the global recession reduces exports and causes higher unemployment, leading to lower consumer spending. Its Executive Director, Emirates Professor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Arif, says that GDP forecast for 2010 is also now reduced to 2.8% from 3.3% previously.
We have also revised our forecast for next year downward a little bit to 2.8%, and it's slightly below 3% that we thought would be a bit far-fetched.
Speaking to reporters after delivering his opening remarks, Mohammed says that the liberalisation announced by the government will need time to boost investors' confidence, but the measures are in the right direction to help remodel the economy.
In that sense, it does not really influence the current situation. So our forecasts are not very much impacted by these measures, which we recognize as good measures and probably long-term measures, which will bear fruit later on.
Mohammed predicts the country's second quarter GDP will decline 6%, followed by a 4% decline in the third quarter, and later on showing a 2% growth in fourth quarter.
We'll see positive growth, roughly around 2% in the fourth quarter, but overall we think that the economy will contract by 4.2% this year.
Meanwhile, commenting on the two stimulus packages worth 67 billion ringgit, Mohammed says that pure government spending is only 22 billion ringgit, while the economy needs a spending of 30 billion ringgit or another 8 billion ringgit to make a critical impact. He says the country's fiscal deficit is something to worry about, as there are chances it may exceed 10%, higher than the government's forecast of 7.6%. But he quickly adds that in time of crisis, an 8% deficit is not something to be alarmed about, and that the government is still able to manage the deficits quite well.
I think the deficit may hover around 8 to 9%, and that's a distinct possibility. But of course, much depends on how the economy bounces back.
He adds that the government needs to put in more fiscal expenditure to boost the economy's potential, but at the same time, the government has to face the fact that its revenue will be lower next year.